Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are here for our third of our final best figures of 2025. Today we're going to be going over our top 10 McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Over the past year, Articulated Empire has become your trusted online retailer. They carry all the latest lines like Mythic Legions, Valiverse, AWOC, Zesray Studios, and much, much more. They ship your items quickly and securely. You'll be quite happy with how Steve and his team follow through with their care and attention. Articulated Empire also offers free shipping over $75 and no tax except for Illinois residents. So head over to articulatedempire.com today and build your empire. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Yes, we are getting to the end of January already. Boy, it's flown by. But I still want to get out two more videos. This one and one more. We're going to probably just push them through this week. Go ahead and get them done with before January gets away from us, because doing top 10 2025 figures in February just seems weird. Feels like I have a little bit of grace going into January. So today we're going to be talking about our top 10 McFarlane Toys figures of 2025. DC Multiverse specifically, maybe there are some page punchers tossed in there. Maybe there are some theatrical deluxe cinematic movie box office release, whatever. McFarlane has so many sublines that I can't keep up with. But what I'm saying is this isn't like overall McFarlane Toys. So no like sports picks or movie maniacs or music figures, just DC Multiverse, DC comic book figures, because that's really all I buy from them, honestly. So today we're going to be doing our top 10. Now again, just like our other ones, no particular order. These are not ranked. These are just 10 of the figures that I had the most fun with in 2025. We'll probably do this again in 2026 or in 2027, but at that point McFarlane would have lost if not all, almost all of the DC licensing. We don't know what little bit of fingerprint he's still going to have on it. Also, this list doesn't include my all-time favorite figures from McFarlane, which are the Kenner Superpowers line. I just did DC Multiverse because that seems like what everybody collects. But personally, if the DC Multiverse figures, the page punchers, if all of that goes away and we still get, if McFarlane can still make Superpowers figures, I'm happy. If Mattel picks up where he left off and continues to make Superpowers figures, I'll be happy. I just really want Superpowers to continue. It's my favorite toy line of all time. So without further ado, let's just get into it, because I know people will comment. They'll be like, dude, you were a-doing all over the place after you said without further ado. So let's stop a-doing and let's just do it. Coming here first on the list, again, this is not number 10. This is not number 1. It's just one of the figures I had the most fun with this year, is the DC Multiverse. Now, this is going to be the animation Superman. So this is that old Max Fleischer style of Superman. You don't get a lot of super detailed or the musculature. It's just more kind of a flat sculpture here, not really defined muscles. It kind of matched that old style. I do like that he comes with some flying hands and some punches, because that's pretty much all this Superman did, was just fly around and punch stuff. He was kind of like Mighty Mouse in that way. But I love this head sculpt. I love the colors. I love the old S symbol on his chest, the old shield. That looks really good. So yeah, absolutely. The Max Fleischer 1940s animation style Superman, definitely one of my favorites from the year. Next up would be the Page Punchers Shazam. This, of course, is not going to be your small little like 2-inch figures or whatever. These are like your full-fledged figures that came with comics. Again, this is McFarlane Toys, but it's under the DC Direct banner. Does this continue when Mattel takes over? Who knows? We still have questions. But I would say this is the definitive Shazam or Captain Marvel, however you want to say it, of the McFarlane Toys era of doing stuff. I think this is, you've got the wired cape, you've got the extra hands, you've got the necklace. There's just so much really good stuff here that I really dig. I think this is like the best Shazam that he's put out. Looks great. Could we get a Shazam in the Superpowers line? Boy, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Yeah, but this just looks absolutely great. One of my favorites from the year. Next up is going to be the McFarlane Collector's Edition, whatever that means. Power Girl. It used to mean that when you got a collector's edition, that means you would get like the taller plastic stand for the card. You'd get a lot of extra hands, face plates. But McFarlane's going to McFarlane. If he's consistent in one thing, it's his inconsistency. He set up a reason for these figures to be more expensive and then stopped fulfilling that reason, stopped delivering on that value. Because this really just comes with the cat, which is, is it Speedy, Squeaky, Stinky? I can't remember the name of the cat because I never paid much attention to the cat when I was reading these books. But I think this is probably one of their best female figures, probably next to the Huntress that they did that was in this collector's edition. But she came with a ton of extra hands and face plates. Maybe I should have put her on this list instead. But yeah, she does come with some extra hands, no extra heads or face plates. It does come with that wired cape. She looks great. And the actual makeup that came on my version of her face looked great. The paint apps were some of the best he's put out. Definitely not consistent with some other female releases. Next up is going to be the deluxe theatrical edition. This one does deliver on that value of what you pay. You get. I think you really get a good value for this. But this is Peacemaker from season 2 of the show. You've got Eagly. You finally have him coming with his big pistol, which the first release of this figure didn't. Warner Brothers was still on that whole no weapons with figures kick, no gun, or specifically guns with figures kick. Yeah, this is just absolutely fantastic. You get the unhelmeted John Cena head, which looks great. You get multiple helmets to put on. They look good without the helmet pieced together, so he could be holding it. Comes with Eagly, very clean paint apps on mine throughout. This is tops. Probably would be, if I had to say, probably in my top 3 McFarlane releases of the year. Next up is going to be the DC Direct Page Punchers Joker. I believe this is labeled as the Crisis on Infinite Earths or New Crisis, New Infinity. I don't remember. I can't keep track of all these names. But this is a awesome classic Joker. I would have liked the coat to be a little better detailed, maybe with a belt or some stitching and some buttons. For what it is, it's pretty cheap. But, you know, GPS Lot's got you covered. You can really find a really cool purple trench coat on there that'll be wired and have all the bells and whistles. Does come with a pistol, which is nice. And the hat is not removable. So if that's going to be a sticking point for you, you can always find like a different head or pick. This is actually a repaint from an earlier Joker. I give him a Tommy gun that came with a different character, and he's up on my shelf and he looks fantastic. I thought about getting a different head. I thought about getting a coat, and I was like, I really don't want to sink, you know, the same price of this figure into upgrades to make it even better. I was just like, whatever. He looks good. He is a good release, but I do wish they would have put a little bit more effort into this. If this would have been like a deluxe collector's edition, come with a better coat, more hands, removable hat, different heads or something like that, I would have gladly paid the extra, you know, $10 for that, or, you know, $7, whatever the upgrade cost would have been. But he does come with a pistol. He does look nice. He is a classic. If you want that classic looking Joker, this is going to be the one for you. Next up is Dr. Fate in that McFarlane digital. Again, so many sublines. Like, why? I don't need like a digital version of this for my digital collection and my digital showroom. McFarlane's all about the intangible value without actually giving you anything else. This is a figure that I did upgrade myself with a third party with some hands. They are some clear yellow 3D printed hands that have like the Ankh symbol. I do wish he would have come with some magical effects out of the package, but doesn't even come with extra hands. He just, that's what you see is what you get, because, you know, all the digital version is included. He does come with a wired cape, so it is one of the better capes that McFarlane has released this year. Next up is going to be this guy, kind of hard to track down, but I was lucky enough to find one in my local Target, Cyborg Superman. The red version of this was a beast to track down. I helped a buddy of mine track one down and ended up having to enlist the help of collectors across the nation to find one. But Target exclusive of that red one. But this guy is fantastic for what he is. He's big, he's beefy, he is scary. The paint apps, there are some weird things going on with the sculpt and the color of certain things that, you know, if you want a detailed breakdown of how this figure actually came out and looked, I would definitely check out the review that Brad, the DC Geek, did. He did a great review of this. Check him out. He does come with a wired cape, comes with some extra hands. So for the value of straight out of the package, this is one of the better values, and he looks fantastic. I did a pose video with this guy. You can check it out on my Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector, or on TikTok. Just look up Saturday Morning Toy Collector. Definitely one of the best Batman figures to come out this year is the Deluxe Theatrical Edition 1989. No, this would have been 1990 or 91. Batman Returns, the sequel to Batman. The Christmas Batman movie, as everybody calls it, comes with so much stuff in the hands. So you've got hands and the Batarang and the grapple gun. The colors are great. The belt, the symbol, wired cape, a few extra faceplates would have really make this sing for the value. But this is definitely, I would put this in my top 3 deluxe Batman McFarlane figures of the year for sure. Love this figure. Next up is another Batman. I'm a huge Batman fan. He's my favorite comic book character in the whole wide world. Tops in my list. And this guy, McFarlane makes a lot of Batman. So this is where I'm getting my Batman from. So this is Batman. I forgot which particular version this is. I think this is like year 1, book 4 version, if I remember correctly, but he's on the shorter side of the Batman figures. I don't remember if this one came with a wired cape. I don't think it did, but I just really love the proportions, the ears, the color of the suit, the belt. His proportions and the shape and the sculpting of this figure is outstanding. I don't think I ever read book 4 of year 1. I don't remember if I did, but this is a really good Batman figure. Moves well, comes with an extra Batarang, which is nice. Always give him something to do. And of course, it comes with a trigger finger, but nothing to trigger. And then probably, if I had to give a number 1 top slot of the year, my 10th release here is going to be, my 10th pick is going to be probably the figure that I had the most fun with, and that is the Deluxe Theatrical Edition Superman and Krypto from the new Superman movie. I absolutely love this figure. It stayed on my desk for probably half the year. I was so excited to get this figure that I saw the dirty version first, and I bought that and messed around with it, and it was great, but this one is better. It comes with Krypto. I would have preferred to see Krypto in a flying pose, but then they would have had to include a stand, and McFarlane doesn't want to include anything. But Krypto even has like a little shield symbol printed on his cape. Superman comes with a wired cape, which is great. Comes with some punchies, one grabby, a couple of flight hands, multiple face plates. Now, the problem here with the face plates is that the one with the burned eyes was from the scene where his eyes got burned, not where he's using his heat vision. So, the brow is not furrowed. So that would have been a nice inclusion. And then the other face plates, one kind of looks a little perturbed, but not really, but it's not really an angry or grimacing faceplate. And I think that was a missed opportunity. Now, of course, this version, David Corenswet and James Gunn's version of Superman, was a lot more hopeful and friendly. He didn't really get mean, but there were a few scenes of that in the movie, and I would have liked to have that included. But then there's always the case that, was McFarlane made aware of that prior to the film's release? Did he get an advanced screening of the film or no? Maybe he didn't know, but he clearly knew enough because of the red eyes. I don't know. But anyway, from the posing to the sculpture, I think David Corenswet's features here are captured perfectly. He looks enough like the character for a mass market retail figure. And yeah, absolutely. This was clearly my favorite Superman figure of the year. I can't even remember if I reviewed this or not in 2025. My memory is so bad. But yeah, definitely this would be, if I was picking a number 1, this would probably be my number 1 figure release of the year. You guys let me know in the comments down below if you agree with any of my findings or my picks. Did I miss anything, or what? Let me know your favorites. Tell me in the comments down below, and maybe that'll jog my memory and go, oh yeah, that figure was great. Some honorable mentions here definitely would have been the Huntress. I think she was the first deluxe collector's edition that McFarlane put out, and he kind of set the standard. This is what it's going to be, with the larger stand for the figures, for the card, which I don't really care about, but it's just when you promise that and then take it away, that seems a little shady. But she came with multiple faceplates, weapons, hands. Like, she really set the bar high, and then they kind of yanked all that value out in later releases. In some of them, not all of them, but in some cases they did. Like Power Girl. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below which ones were your favorite of 2025 and which ones you agree with. That'd be great. Be sure to check out our podcast called Across the Toyverse. Wherever you find podcasts, we just had episode 12 come out in our new format, so definitely check that out. Please be sure to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I'll see you in the Toy House.